The Harlem Renaissance was an African-American cultural movement in the 1920s through the early 1930s and was centered in the Harlem area of New York City. The Harlem Renaissance was the first time the mainstream took African-American work seriously. African Americans of that time rejected imitating common white stylings and instead embraced and celebrated their culture. The Harlem Renaissance was more than just a literary movement. It was an explosion of musical stylings, particularly jazz music. Louis Armstrong was one of the greatest jazz musicians of all time. It has been said that without him, such music as blues, jazz, and rock and roll wouldn't be what it is today. Louis Armstrong was born in one of the poorest neighborhoods in New Orleans. At the young age of 7, he bought his first horn, and when he was 11, juvenile court sent him to a home for firing a pistol on New Year's Eve. Though this would seem like a punishment for most, it was a blessing for him. He was able to take his first formal lesson and play in a band. When allowed back to his home, he was taken under the wing of cornist Joe King Oliver, and when Oliver moved to Chicago in June of 1918, he replaced him in the Kid Ory Band. After leaving that band and joining another, then leaving again, and joining another, and leaving once again, Armstrong moved to Chicago to join Oliver's band in August of 1922, and made his first recordings as a member of the group in the spring of 1923. He then joined and left various other bands, and somewhere in between he switched from the cornet to the trumpet, and became a headliner on records and radio because of his fearless trumpet solos and newly formed scat style of singing. In 1929 he returned to New York, where he performed at Connie's Inn in Harlem and on Broadway in Connie's Hot Chocolates, and made his first nationwide hit recordings. Without Louis Armstrong, music just wouldn't be what it is today.
What a wonderful
love cheesecake.
Oh, cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching cheesecake. Cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble gobble, cheesecake, gobble gobble, cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble gobble, cheesecake, crazy old cheesecake. My girl loves cheesecake, she's crazy all the time. When I bring her cheesecake, she treats me mighty fine. Cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake. Cheesecake, cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble gobble, cheesecake, gobble gobble, cheesecake. Cheesecake, cheesecake, gobble gobble, cheesecake, crazy over cheesecake, taking their money. Munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble gobble, cheesecake, gobble gobble, cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble gobble, cheesecake, crazy over cheesecake.